everybody, it's Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. I'm starting your reading exactly at 10:10. You can see it on my clock right now. So if you are looking for a sign and you like the number 1010 or you've been seeing 1010 a lot lately, then that is your first sign for this reading. This reading is called Give Me a Sign, New Love Reading, okay? So we're gonna be looking for signs in this reading that you are on the right track when it comes to love. And for those of you that have new love in your life and you're trying it out with someone new, or you want to have someone new in your life, or you're just wanting to see if you're on the right track when it comes to love, we are going to go ahead and take a look at your reading today. And no extended reading today, but we will be having extended readings again real soon. I've been a little bit out of commission for the last week. Not out of commission in a bad way, but out of commission in a good way, because I had company in town, and so that was wonderful and beautiful. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the reading. And for those of you that would like to book a personal reading, there are details below in the description box for how to book that reading. Also, if you'd like to follow me on my other channel, Light of Ascension Tarot, there's a link to my other channel in the description box below. And if you'd like to follow me on TikTok or Instagram, details for how to do so are below. So let's go ahead and get into the energy for today. We have 3 different piles to choose from, and we have pile number 1, which is the orange tea light. And I think these are all primary colors, right? We have orange, blue, and red, and I have to relook at the how pathetic is that, right? I gotta relook at the definition of primary colors, but kind of feel like that's what we're dealing with today, and Spirit wanted me to tell you guys that anyway. So we have the orange tea light for pile number 1. We have the blue tea light for pile number 2. And we have the red tea light for pile number 3. So go ahead and focus on what you're feeling. Let whatever color come to you, come to you. Think about yourself in a white room and you're just meditating. And what is the first color that you see? What is the first color that you feel? What's the first color that you smell, right? Maybe the orange is like an actual orange. Maybe the blue is like a blueberry. Maybe the red is like cinnamon, right? So think of what is working for you today intuitively. Blessings for everyone. And of course, you're welcome to watch more than one pile if you feel so inclined. A lot of times there's one pile you're leaning towards and then you're like, but I also like that one, right? So maybe you watch 2 piles and you get more signs. So let's go ahead and get into it for everybody on this beautiful Saturday morning. So happy to be with everybody today, and let's go ahead and do it. All right, let me scoot in and get comfortable here. So let's do it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the orange tea light, and today's reading is called Give Me a Sign, and this is a new love reading. So if you're wanting new love in your life, or you have new love, or you just met someone, or you're thinking about it, we are going to look and see what signs may be coming through for you today, okay? And I'm feeling like so far, Spirit is drawing my attention to something like an Asian name or an Asian last name like S-I-A-N, or like Saigon, or a name like that, or maybe a last name, a middle name, S-I-A-N, or maybe a name that ends in I-A-N or S-I-A-N, okay? So take that as your first sign, pile number 1, and let's go ahead and get into your reading. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful, amazing, violet purple ray of pile number 1. All right, so yeah, so Spirit is showing me the violet flame, or the purple ray, or Saint Germain. So for those of you that have a connection to the violet flame, or you just like the color violet, or maybe you like the flowers that are called violets, okay? But let's go ahead and get into it. Maybe your middle name or last name, or you have a puppy named Violet. That's a very cute name. It's a very sweet name. All right, so let's go ahead. Pile number 1, let's do it. We have 6 of Pentacles. We have the Star card. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the Empress. Pile number 1. You're doing so good, my lovelies. And apologies for those of you that can hear my washing machine in the background. It's cleansing all of us today. It's cleansing us and making us all beautiful. But you guys have 2 of the most powerful archetypes, I would say, in the tarot. I mean, they're all powerful, right? But you have 2 major arcana here. You have the Star and the Empress. So it's time to really feel yourself. You know what I'm saying, pile number 1? It's time to be feeling on yourself. And it's really time to know what situations are appropriate for an Empress, right? The 10 of Pentacles is a scene that the Empress could, you know, find herself in that would be to her level, just as well as the Star card could find herself in the 6 of Pentacles in a situation that feels very nourishing and successful, okay? So yeah, and I see this Empress with her wand. It's almost like she's pointing her wand at the 10 of Pentacles and saying, I want that. And some of you guys may want a baby, or your pet is like a baby, or you may have, but I also feel like a beautiful home, a family, a baby, a doggy. All right, some people can't or don't want to have babies, but they have beautiful pets. And I feel like, you know, your life is becoming very blessed, pile number 1. And I see, like, if you've been worried about anything when it comes to relationships, and you've been like, I don't know, like, is what I want too much? I don't want to be ungrateful. I want this particular thing, but you know, I've been wishing on a star, I feel like, for you, pile number 1, and Spirit is saying you're right on the right track. You know, what you want, the level of what you want, you're not being ungrateful by, if you've been in relationships, pile number 1, when you've wanted more, you know, you're like, I've wanted more, and I've wanted to give more, I've wanted to receive more, right? And I feel like Spirit's saying, that's fine, you're right on track. You know, it's more than fine. It's actually very beautiful, okay? And I'm drawn to the waters here and the splash, all right? It's like splash, splash, pile number 1. And I'm seeing a lot of comfort too. Like, I love how this dog is laying in the grass, and I love how the water is flowing. And there's 2 children here again too. So I also feel like for you, pile number 1, if you're saying, I feel like sometimes you might be saying the people that I'm with, it's like they don't have the same values of me or the same goals as me. And it starts off good, but then I realize, you know, and I feel like some of you are feeling like you're looking for someone a little more traditional, or you're looking for someone who has more old school type values with the 10 of Pentacles, okay? Or just knows how to treat something of value with the proper amount of respect is what I also feel for you, pile number 1. And I think you're growing. Like, for those of you men or women here today, them, they, there too. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I definitely feel like you're blossoming. For some of you, I want to tell you, you're blossoming into womanhood, and I don't care how old you are, like, we always have more room to blossom and to grow, right? And yeah, and I think you definitely are on the right path, and I think what you're doing now is going to lead to success, okay? Which is great. These are some, not that when I read for people, I never say like, oh, these are positive cards or these are negative cards, but you know, what I'm seeing here with the 6 of Pentacles is I think you are realistic. This is a Moon and Taurus card. And, you know, it's about getting the vibe right with the Star card, getting that vibe right. And I think you are realistic. And I think what you're looking for is something that can stand the test of time. All right. And I love that she's wearing the orange dress here because you have the orange tea lights. And, you know, it's life is easier when we have someone to share it with, especially when we really vibe on that level with them, okay? So this is good. Wow, new moon eclipse, expect powerful change. So we are going to be having eclipses coming up one on November 18th and 19th, depending on where you are in the world. Could be on the 18th or the 19th. But November 19th, we have a lunar eclipse, and on December 4th, we have a solar eclipse coming up. So we are coming into eclipse season, and this is a new moon eclipse, talking about, you know, a new moon is a time for new beginnings. It's a time for a brand new cycle, and it's saying expect powerful change in your life. All right, pile number one. So if you've been trying to get away from something, or you're like, I can't find what I'm looking for, are my standards too high? Should I just be grateful with what I've been shown? And Spirit's like, absolutely not. There is, and I love how in this 10 of Pentacles, he's snapping his fingers at this baby, and there's a burst of light, okay? With the Star card too, there's a burst of light. And yeah, it's wonderful, pile number one. And I feel like, I want to say some of you feel like you're starting off at square zero again, or you're starting off at zero again, or like sub-zero, or maybe that's a sign for you, like sub-zero. Maybe you're in one of those cryogenic frozen things. I don't know, pile number one, but it's like you're starting off. I laugh because the images that Spirit gives me are so funny. But you start off at zero, right? And that's where I think you are with a new moon eclipse here, expecting powerful change. Oh my God, there's the dove. There's the lovey-doveys here. The doves. I see so many doves where I live, you know, and deep forgiveness. All right, this is card 38, talking about deep forgiveness in love, okay? And forgiveness doesn't have to be like somebody, like, you know, did you wrong or whatever. It can be just a forgiveness of, sometimes we have to forgive Spirit, or we have to forgive God in a way, because some of us are like, some people are like, you know, why am I continually meeting these type of people, or why am I continually, right? And it's almost like at the moment when you meet this person, pile number one, you have a deep moment of forgiveness, even if you were, because when we get let down a lot, pile number one, sometimes we have a tendency to blame source, you know? So that's what I'm feeling here. And with the Star card, it's like connecting to your ancestors with the 10 of Pentacles, connecting to the star beings. It's like the earth and the stars, which is very beautiful. Ooh, we have shark. Okay, so shark energy. Let's see what else we have. North Node and your destiny. So I think this is coming in a lot quicker than you expect. And, you know, sharks can create a lot of fear in people, especially sometimes we hold back because we're fearful, right? With this dove, learning to forgive ourselves. Or maybe in the past you rushed into things quickly, pile number one, and you thought, oh, this is my destiny, this is my person. Again, with this huge, huge spark here in the middle, this huge, again, that we see on the 10 of Pentacles, and we see with this new moon eclipse, this huge sparking, all right? The destiny fueling the Empress. And we see the shark here going after what you want, right? Going after, instead of settling, pile number one, going after what you want, all right? And let's see what else we have. We have the 5th house in passion. Well, that's beautiful, right? This talks about creativity, love, passion, pleasure, children, for some of you that want to have children, romance, and a big old disco ball. All right, for those of you that are into disco balls, or you like a disco ball, this is a big old disco ball. All right, it's a disco in your honor, pile number one. Ooh, we have the King of Cups, lovey-dovey with the King of Cups. So if some of you have met a very passionate water sign, okay, and the King of Cups in the tarot is a Pisces, but that can also be, you know, we can also read that as Cancer or Scorpio. We don't even have to read it as a water sign, but I am seeing tenderness here, and the way he's stroking her hair, and these two lovey-doveys, all right, with the King of Cups and this passion, all right, that's beautiful. Ooh, we have the Lovers. So, yeah, we could have water sign energy with Gemini and the Lovers here. But I do feel like you're definitely catching this person's eye. You know, it's almost like you need to see yourself. I feel like some of you guys may use like your beauty or your body or whatever to kind of entice people in. And then you may wonder, like, do they really care, right? Do they really love me, or do they just see me sexually, right? Do they just look at me like a shark, like they're a shark coming to get me, right? And I feel like there may be somebody that you're with in the future, or maybe you're in destiny, right? North Node, or you're with now, that you may have this conversation with and say, sometimes I feel like people only appreciated me for my body or for my looks or for whatever, you know, for whatever they could get for sex. And, you know, I feel like this person's going to be like, what? Like when you explain this to them, they're going to be like, what are you talking about? You know, because I feel like they really see you for who you are. Pile number 1. That's a beautiful thing. We have serpentine and transformation. Serpentine looks and feels like the skin of a serpent. Snakes have the ability to shed their outgrown skin, and serpentine symbolically helps you to do the same. Determine what needs to be released in your life so that something new can come in. Yeah, so I feel like some of you guys are at a precipice here where there is new, vibrant spark of energy coming in. Right? So determine what needs to be released in your life so that some new thing can come in. Serpentine helps you to implement transformation and transition and change in your life. It is safe to let go. I know that nothing is ever taken away unless something better is coming. So some of you guys might have felt like with this shark energy, you might have felt very attacked in the past, or if things were taken out of your life very suddenly when it comes to relationships, when you thought it was on a great path, okay? Spirit's saying here, you know, I know that nothing is ever taken away unless something better is coming along, okay? So that's something Spirit wants you to hold on to. Pile number 1. Ooh, we have the Page of Air, or the Knave of Air. So I feel like, you know, you guys are going to be walking on sunshine. You guys know that song from the past? I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, ho, ho. And it's time to feel good. Dun, dun. Okay. And I see he has a wrench here. So it's like, there's just a couple last things that need fixing. You know what I'm saying? Just a couple last things that need fixing here. Pile number 1, maybe some ghosts from the past, some things that you wanted to work but didn't end up working or fitting in your life. And Spirit is saying it's time to walk on sunshine and it's time to feel good, okay? And I am getting this mercurial energy. So you may meet someone that has water in their chart, but also has air, you know, has this Mercury kind of lightness to them. And I also think it's time for lightness for you too. And for those of you that have met somebody new recently, I feel like this person is very excited when they think about you. They may listen to certain songs or certain music that reminds them of you. This person may have like more of a blue collar type job, but they're no shade on that, right? And they're very sexy, or they may think of themselves as getting their hands dirty when they work. But yeah, I mean, and I feel like this person has some sexy lips and hair and hands. Very nice. Very nice, pile number 1. And we have Too Cool for You. All right, this is the Queen of Swords from my deck here. So one thing I feel like Spirit is saying is the Empress is very warm. You know, she's very warm. And also I feel like we could have Aquarius here too with the Star card and the Queen of Swords, right? But I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, don't play these games. Don't play the who's too cool, who is too cool, right? Or avoidant attachment. Maybe some of you guys meet some people in the past who were very avoidant. You know, if you don't know what avoidant attachment is, you can go ahead and look that up. But it's the old who can care less game, all right? And Spirit's saying, Don't be too cool for school. There's something here with the 5th house and passion and the Empress and destiny and transformation, right? There's a need for more warmth, I feel here. Okay, pile number 1. So nobody should be too cool for school. We've got, this is the quirky baby, be my lady. All right. So this is like the Fool card from my deck. Quirky baby, be my lady. So she's dressed, of course, kind of punk, and she has purple hair. She's got on purple lipstick. Quirky lady, quirky baby, be my lady. Okay. And I think this is Frida Kahlo. For those of you that like Frida Kahlo, I always say her last name wrong. The artist Frida Kahlo. She certainly was quirky and different and a very exciting and interesting artist. Okay. I'm also seeing the initials S-E-R, okay? And I feel like it could be, but there's an accent on the E, so I feel like it could be like a Spanish name or from a different language, all right? I'm also seeing PMG is what I feel, and the number 8. So if you're getting a sign at all here, pile number 1, if you're receiving any signs in this reading, you're on the right path, okay? Somebody here is saying, you know, you're really cool, you're really interesting, you're really quirky, you're different. Maybe some of you guys take really unique photos, or you do unique art, or you look at the world in a very unique way. And yeah, you definitely have someone's attention here, pile number 1. So no need to play the too cool for school game. Ooh, we have the Fool, and actually this is the Fool from my deck. So we have the Fool and we have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, a little too cool for school, all right? But the Fool is like, yeah. So what gets you off your ass, pile number 1, and gets you moving, all right? What stops you from, you know, when you're not holding back anymore and actually gets you moving? And the funny thing about well, it's not funny, it's interesting. The funny thing about the Hangman and the Fool is the Hangman is primal water and the Fool is primal air. So I am seeing a lot of air and water all over this reading. So if you're an air sign, or they are, or water and an air sign together, I am seeing that. And there's a need to, and again here, I feel like sometimes starting off at 0, I mentioned sub-0 or starting off at 0. Of course, 0 is the Fool in the tarot. And I think you've learned enough, you know, with the Hangman. I think you've surrendered and you've learned enough, and you kind of hung on that cross long enough, pile number 1. And I think it's time for a bright and bold new journey for you, okay? And I think you maybe spent a lot of time in observation. You know, the Hangman is also about enlightenment, you know, and I think you spent enough time in that space. And it's not even like I think, it's like I know that you have, and I hope you know too. And I think it's time to say a word. And I feel like this white rose here is about forgiveness with the Dove card again. It's almost like giving yourself, your past self, a free pass and being like, you know, I forgive you for what you did back then, because that's what you knew, that's what the level of your consciousness was at. But now I'm ready to move on, okay, is what I'm really feeling here. Ooh, we have transition, we have death, okay. And you know, you guys have the serpentine. For those of you that like serpentine as a crystal, this is a type of crystal. If you've seen them lately, that's another sign for you. We have 3 major arcana here, you know, so there's some big changes happening for you, pile number 1, no joke. All right, and you're moving out of one phase in your life, and like I said, for some of you, like blossoming out of, and look at her here, she's laying on this like altar or this coffin even in a white dress, and she's transitioning into the light. Some of you guys could have gone through divorces too, or the ending of a very long relationship. And I see you guys moving through this tunnel of transition, and I can see the violet and the yellows coming through for you. And I feel like your guide is patting you on the head and motioning for you to come this way. You know, come through this portal, come through this light, come through this activation. Okay, so there is something that you're letting go of. And that whole message that we had earlier, I know that I'm not, you know, it's, what did I say here? Where did that even go? I know, oh yeah, it's on the serpentine. It's safe to let go, death, okay? Transition here. It's safe to let go. I know that nothing is ever taken away unless something better is coming. And I feel like with the Hangman, you guys have been waiting, all right? You've been waiting and questioning. But I feel there's a new journey opening for you here. Ooh, nice, nice. We have guidance. And look at this beautiful Buddha here. Wonderful. For those, and the Sphinx. For those of you that have a connection to the Sphinx or the Buddha as well, this is coming through big time. And you guys have all major arcana here, which is just namaste, pile number 1 for sure. Like there is big transformations happening here. We have Taurus and Scorpio with the Hierophant and death. And you know, Taurus Scorpio is about letting go. It's, you know, sometimes we want to hold on to things. We don't want to let that version of ourselves go. We don't want to go, you know, we don't want to go from something. We want to hang on to it, right? But I feel your soul is urging you to a new path, pile number 1. And it's not that you've learned so much. I mean, you've really, really been enlightened on this journey. And it's something to be grateful for. You know, I started your reading talking about being grateful in the sense, you know, being grateful for, you know, I'm seeing the Ouroboros right now, you know, the snake that kind of eats its tail. It's almost like a dragon eating its tail too. And snakes, dragons, for those of you that's another sign here. And I feel like, you know, I'm drawn to the belt on the Fool and the belt on the Hangman. And there's something about, maybe I feel like you've been holding in, pile number 1. It's time to expand. It's time to release, okay? And you are very guided by your guides, by your teachers, by your ancestors. And, you know, I think that shark energy that I saw earlier, I'm seeing it in the Sphinx, in the eyes of the Sphinx here, pile number 1, about how, like, you're determined and moving towards your destiny in a very, very quick manner, all right? And you know, you're ready to let go now. You're ready to let go so you can move into this new phase. And what you give up, what you get in return is something so expansive and beautiful. It's like a pinwheel that's spinning. It's like a cartwheel, you know? These are also signs. Pinwheels, cartwheels, this kind of spinning motion that I feel like is here for you, pile number 1. There is a transformation, and it is helping you to meet your destiny as an empress, as the empress, as a warm, loving, nurturing, deserving human, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and that was very deep, and it always is whenever we invite spirit in. There's always a lot of major signs for you here, pile number 1. So the Fool is like the biggest one, I almost feel. For those of you that were like, yeah, I'm wanting to see that Fool, you saw it in this reading, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 1, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Let's move on to pile number 2. Alrighty. Pile number 2. Sorry, that was my dog. I'll start over. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue tea light, and today's reading is called Give Me a Sign, New Love Reading. And I'm going to be giving you guys signs during this reading so that you know you're on the right path when it comes to love, especially for those of you that have met someone new, or you're wanting to meet someone new, or you're wanting to go deeper into this energy, pile number 2. And yeah, so let's go ahead and channel it in. Spirit is giving me ghosts, all right? So some of you guys, you might like Halloween, or maybe you watched a documentary on ghosts, or maybe you were just talking about ghosts with a friend, but Spirit is showing me ghosts, you know, in kind of an interesting way, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, you know? So cute, right? Not all ghosts are... Anyway, interesting energy. Ghost. Let's see. Maybe you guys watched the movie Ghost recently. Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, that kind of longing, pile number 2. Let's see what else we can get here. I feel like I'm like a tree swaying in the wind right now. I feel a sense of peace and calm for my pile number 2s. Maybe you need that in your life right now. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful energy of my pile number 2s, to their guides, and to universal source energy itself, please, and thank you. All right, pile number 2. I feel like if some of you guys had little medical things come up lately, like a little like urinary tract, not a little, but I know they really, like a little urinary tract infection or anything like that. If you've been dealing with that lately, yeah, or maybe some of you guys have been detoxing from yeast. I know there's like detoxes you can do. I am feeling that energy right now. Let's see, what else am I getting? Maybe you've just been doing detoxes in general, or you've had too much of certain metals or minerals in your body or your teeth or whatever it is. I feel like pile number 2, maybe some of you have been working on teeth stuff recently too. What else can I get for these? Are all signs, pile number 2, to help you know like you're on the right path, what you're thinking and doing when it comes to love. You're on the right path, okay? And if you didn't hear anything that resonates right there, do not worry, because we've got quite more of a reading coming here. So let's go in. I feel like I'm getting the name, like Spirit is showing me, I know Kamala is the name of our vice president, but I feel like I'm getting the name Kamala, or a name like Mala or Kamala, or ends in ALA. All right, a name that ends in ALA or has that sounding of a last name. I also feel like I'm getting the F names, like Felicia. Okay, so let's go ahead and look, pile number 2. 3 of Cups, give me a sign. King of Swords, woo. The Tower, all right. And the Devil. So pile number 2, yeah, so if you've been trying to clear some energy or figure out something that's been going on in your life recently and get some clarity on something, it could be a mental state, something you're working with your mental state, and you're trying to understand something from the past or something that happened recently. Yeah, I feel like you've had some heaviness lately, pile number 2. You've had, whether it's with family or friends or relationships or job, whatever it may be, pile number 2. I feel like you had some, I feel like for some of you too, it could be around where you live or your health or other mundane things with the Devil, right? Like feeling locked into a lease or feeling locked into where you're living or your living situation, okay? Or something that's been very aggravating and upsetting to you. I definitely feel like, and I think you guys with this King of Swords, I'm really happy because I feel like you're starting to understand what the issue is, okay? Like what's the issue with your body or your thoughts or a living situation or something that's just become very, you know, charged, a situation that's had a lot of charge to it, that's been difficult for you to stop thinking about, I feel like, for some of you guys, okay? And I do think you need some lightness in your life right now with this 3 of Cups. I do think you need, you know, friends, good friends, fellowship. I do think you need, if you're a witch or you're into that type of energy, which is great if you are, I feel like you need to be around your fellow witches. I feel like there needs celebration, there needs, you know, and I love her teal dress here. I love the teal dress that she's wearing. I think teal is such a cool color. You guys have the blue tea light, and I love the blue suit that she's wearing, and this is a female King of Swords, and I mean, maybe she doesn't identify, I don't know, right? But maybe she is they, them, who knows, right? But you know, what I see here is a lot of focus and determination, and there's butterflies. There's 3 butterflies behind her and 2 birds in the distance. So if you've been seeing butterflies or birds, the other day I was out on my patio and I saw a freaking hawk a hawk that literally flew right at me. And then the day before that, I saw 2 vultures on the top of the building that I live in, sitting there looking out, all right? And I bring those up right now because the tower, the top of a building, right? 2 vultures looking out. And I bring it up because those could be signs for you as well, pile number 2. And if there's been some crusty structures in your life that have really, felt like you just had to stay in them out of duty or obligation or out of some weird form of respect, I feel like, Spirit is saying, like, we are freeing your mind, all right, with these butterflies. It's like butterflies coming out of the head. When you see that, that's such a powerful image of like butterflies, like it's like our thoughts leaving our head, and not so much worry and anxiety, or there might be a lot of catastrophizing going on in your life right now, pile number 2, where you're like, if I stay here, if I do this much longer, this is what's going to happen. I need to think ahead, the King of Swords, and I need to stay above things and not get so emotionally drained or drawn into things. And I definitely need to have more fun with like-minded friends. And and I feel that if you guys are out, and I know there's different, not everybody can go out right now, and not everybody has a ton of friends, but I do think, with this Mercury and Cancer card, it's about communication and connection, because the 3 of Cups is Mercury and Cancer. So there's a need for the King of Swords, there's a need for loving communication. All right, if you've been in a connection with someone, or you've had connections that have been kind of dying out in your life, or you currently are in a connection, I feel like what Spirit is saying here is there is a need for loving communication with yourself, with your friends, with this person. There is a need for that. And I feel first and foremost, loving communication and connection with yourself, and filling your head with positive thoughts, okay? Especially when it comes to love. If you've been in a real tough pattern for a while now, pile number 2, and you're like, I don't know how to get some leverage out of this pattern, okay? If you're starting to get to that breaking point with the Tower where you're like, I can't keep thinking this way, right? I want to find happiness, 3 of Cups. I want to find some joy. I want to have some celebration in my life. I feel like Spirit is saying, yes, release these thoughts. And if you're in the process of doing that and getting mentally clear about things, that is a sign that you are on the right path, okay? Pile number 2, that's a big sign. Ooh, we have a full moon eclipse, and in pile number 1, we had a new moon eclipse, all right? So yeah, very interesting energy. Full moon eclipse, which we are going to be having on November 19th or 18th, depending on where you are. That's 2 months. That's exactly 2 months from today, which is September 18th. So, 2 months are, expecting that conclusions are within reach, right? Especially with the Tower, can help move situations like the Devil that have been stuck for a while, okay? So conclusions are within reach, and I also think your understanding is getting purified, pile number 2. Mentally, you're being purified, and your understanding is growing, all right? And that's beautiful. Ooh, we have the Raven. So if you're looking for a sign, especially for my witches out there, that Raven energy. Doesn't the Morgan, for those of you that like the Morgan, doesn't she always have ravens around her? I'll have to look that up after your reading, but Raven, magic, okay? So yeah, your thoughts are magic, pile number 2. Your thoughts almost have to be purified, or pure as the driven snow, all right? And that's a line from poetry, and I can't remember what poem it's from. When I'm channeling, I just lose all my left brain knowledge, but pure as the driven snow, I feel like, pile number 2, okay? So in the next couple of months, there's definitely magic. Your mind is expanding, and your thoughts are being released out into the world, and people are celebrating it. For those of you that do any type of writing or talking by profession, or training others, or I do see, like, in the next 3 months, there is a real attraction to your message and the gift of gab kind of coming back to you, pile number 2, and this very magical ability that you have. It's almost like you need to talk it out, you know, to get the conclusions that you're looking for. It's like when you do a tarot reading for yourself, like sometimes it really, your own self can be the hardest person to read for, especially if you're going through the devil in the tower, right? It can be very challenging, but if you speak the reading or you record it on your phone, you're gonna get more knowledge from it, okay? So it's these kind of like magical tricks with the raven, all right? Ooh, cosmic egg. Damn, pile number 2. So, you know, the tower is also sexual release that just leaves your body like flung, you know, like, so I also see this as, you know, you guys need some powerful release, sexual release. Conclusions are within reach, okay? And, you know, when that happens, your mind gets free and your body is floating, and, you know, it's all those type of things. Some of you guys need to get down and dirty with the devil in the tower, okay? You need to get sexual. You need some pulsating sexual energy in your life, all right? But I also feel like some of you guys may have been resisting change, wanting to hold on to something, yet the universe is telling you it's time to move, it's time to go, it's time to change, right? So, you know, holding on to something very tightly and squeezing it to death isn't, I mean, it's good when it comes to sex, right? Pile number 2, but it's not so good when it comes to like the flow of life that we're trying to achieve, that mental balance, okay? So, interesting energy. We have sextile and opportunity. All right, so I do think there's going to be an opportunity in the next couple months for you guys, a welcome opportunity that opens up a new door that's going to bring insight to, with this King of Swords here, where you are going to have this opportunity to be with someone. And for some of you guys, it may be a King of Swords that you end up with. It might be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius here, or just someone who has those qualities of the King of Swords. And I feel like it's a breath of fresh air, all right? It's after being in the dark for so long and maybe being worried about things, this person is like a breath of fresh air, okay? And I see there being a lot of sexual energy and sexual magic and tension between you two, which is lovely. Open up the windows, fling them open, get some air, right? Pile number 2. We have Leo and the Lover. Excellent. So some of you guys may have an opportunity with the Leo, or maybe you have Leo in your own chart. But, you know, it doesn't have to be Leo for sure. It's just this confidence, right? If you don't resonate with Leo, I also feel like just looking at her, I see confidence, okay? I also see somebody with some fucking good hair, all right? So get that hair popping, pile number 2. Get that confidence popping, get that hair popping. And for some of you, I'm drawn to like her orange reddish lipstick. I think that looks great on you. And, you know, look at this big cat, his mouth hanging open and kind of moaning, all right? So very sexual, I feel, pile number 2. I see you guys having some good sexual, deviant, down and dirty energy with someone, which is good. I mean, maybe it's the kind of sex that you got to open up a window after, you know what I'm saying? It's like, woo, nice. All right, we have Judgment, and there is something here too that I feel like Spirit wants me to draw your attention to, pile number 2, and that's being careful of who and what you tie yourself to in memory and deed, thoughts, and sexually, all right? And some of you guys may be doing cord cutting in the next couple of months, or that type of energy, or maybe you just did a cord cutting spell. But I do think, you know, Spirit is saying be careful in thought, in deed, in word, right? And be careful of what you're tying your energy to. It's not a warning, it's just, I think you already know this. I think you're already aware of this type of magic, pile number 2. And you're aware of tying yourself to someone, even on the astral plane, okay? And Yeah, I also feel like I'm getting like garden fairies or gnomes for those of you that like gnomes or you're attracted to that energy. But it's that trickster kind of an energy. Like I got tied into this and I wasn't sure and I got tied into it anyway. And now I'm, it's the red string of fate, right? And so Spirit is saying like whatever, and also sexually, whoever you share your energy with over the next couple of months, psychically, sexually, psychosexually, psyche-sexually, there's an asteroid in astrology, I think, called Psyche, right? Our psyches are so important, what we tie ourselves to from a magical standpoint. So Spirit is saying, sexually, when you're sharing your energy, just be aware of that, okay? Because it's big time for you right now. Ooh, we see the Knight of Cups. And, I'm really drawn to the Knight in general. And I feel like it's almost like at the right moment, at the right time, when you're in the right space and energy, when you're in a soft, creative space, pile number 2, this is when it's almost poetry. This is when the energy comes in, okay? And understand during the daytime, we have to remain focused and do what feels good to us, but remain focused, okay? But I feel like at nighttime, that's when the guards come down. That's when the guard comes down. That's when, that's when you can really feel yourself. And I feel like some of you even like getting yourself off is a good thing right now, okay? If you don't have a partner, that could be a very good and healing thing for you right now. We have, or even if you do have a partner, right? We have Turritella agate, okay? That kind of reminds me of like an Italian name. Maybe that's another sign for you. Turritella agate has snail shells embedded in the crystal. Okay, snails are soft and vulnerable. Yeah, I mentioned that soft, vulnerable side, okay? But their shell offers them protection and the abilities to set boundaries. The King of Swords setting those boundaries. Are there people in your life that constantly drag you down and drag your energy? And maybe they're like psychically living in your life. That's a thing to examine there. If so, set better boundaries or disengage from spending time with them psychically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, set better boundaries or disengage from spending time with them. Affirmation, I value my time and energy. I spend time with positive people and do things that uplift my soul. Absolutely. 3 of Cups, uplifting. The 3 of Cups to me is always that uplifting energy. I spend time with people that elevate my consciousness and uplift my soul. And I'm not going to spend times in the drags of society trying to find my face in the dark, like let's open up a window, get the breeze flowing, and get some, when I feel this nighttime energy with the moon and this charge coming towards you, pile number 2, which is a beautiful thing. A lot of times that's when magic happens, but I do feel this need to air it out. There's a need to air something out. Maybe some of you, I'm getting this energy of, this is only going to be a few people, but living in an environment where it doesn't smell good. Okay, Spirit's showing me like somebody living with people that smoke when you don't smoke, or living in an environment where the smell, like you don't like the smells, okay? And we have the 4 of Wands. All right, so, and here we have, he's going down on her and she's like laying against a table, and he's going down on her. Now, I love the 4 of Wands. It's a great card, but I also think it's Venus in Aries, and Venus isn't the greatest in Aries. I mean, they're kind of, it's passionate and it's quick, but I just think don't, and I'm like, hey, have your fucking cake and eat it too, pile number 2, right? But I also, like, I'm a person who doesn't judge, pile number 2, but I feel like Spirit is saying no quick hookups, no quick fucks, none of that right now. I feel, or don't be with anybody that, also I feel like some of you guys may be with people that are just not as attractive as you, which, I mean, attraction is different to other people, but I feel you're very attractive, pile number 2, so I don't want you selling yourself short in any way, okay? Because you're very sexy, you're very hot, you're very attractive, and Yeah, so I just feel I got to tell you that because we got the boundaries and the devil card, and there may be an opportunity that somebody tries to kind of get in there, in the next couple of months. But I think, you want to concentrate on that confidence and being soft and vulnerable, but having that good shell, having that good, King of Swords, like living in you, pile number 2, in a good way. Root chakra. Protection. Yeah, absolutely. Protection and boundaries are coming out here. Maybe some of you guys are needing some protection. Protection, pattern, habits, conservation, and that stuck energy with the devil. Well, the Tower will break you out of that if you're feeling stuck on something, okay? Some of you guys may have been stuck on a person, and you're like, I got to get this fucking person out of my head, and I need to have fun and enjoy life more. And I feel like, yes, this is where you want to be. And there's something beautiful about dusk too as well, that golden light, okay? Maybe you guys look really good in that golden light. Oh, nice, pile number 2. This is lovely, this is good. You've got a beautiful heart, pile number 2. And so when you have that beautiful of a heart, you have to, protect yourself too, okay? It's healthy to do that. And you're not going to hide out forever, all right? For some of you that feel that you've been hiding out a little bit, I see you getting out more. I see you, yeah. And we have the 10 of Cups, heart chakra, okay? And I have on this card, this is from my deck, Soul Messages. It says 10 of Cups, heart chakra. God is a woman, a perfect moment in time, all right? God is a woman, a perfect moment in time. Good things come when you stop waiting around. That's a beautiful quote I have on here by a beautiful musician named Kathleen Edwards. And for those of you who know who that is, or the name Kathleen, just know good things come when we stop waiting around. Okay, so very cool energy. We have the 5 of Wands. And we have the Page of Wands. So I just want to say too, pile number 2, there's somebody on my deck right now doing some work. So if my dog wakes up and starts barking and whatever, then just, if you're listening on headphones, protect your eardrums. Know that it may happen, okay? Because she has a tendency to kind of go crazy when she sees that. But I feel like with this 5 of Wands, it's like, why am I trying to win or build in this system when nothing is getting done, And I'm drawn to this person here on this 5 of Wands, because there's 5 people, Everyone's trying to do something, but no one's really getting anywhere. And I feel like this is you guys sometimes, when maybe how you feel when it comes to relationships. It's more Leo energy. Saturn and Leo trying to build something that lasts, but everybody's ego is getting in the way, or everybody thinks they know best, or and there's a need here to, I feel, divest your energy from this kind of hoopla, from these ego games, or from people who are keen to want to grab a certain, it's like, to them being right, or to them being the winner is the most important thing. And that's cool, that's fine. But I also feel like Spirit is saying, you could be looking at something else. You could be looking at something totally different. You could be looking at a totally new investment on your energy. And you could be looking at things in a beautiful new way, finding the poetry in the moment, living in the present, living in the moment, instead of recounting those times when you tried to build something with someone and or people in general, and it was just like herding cats, it was just like chasing cats or herding cats. We've got the Leo energy here, the big cat. And Spirit is just saying, take your spark and take this opportunity, take this spark and put it into something that feels like less resistant. It's like when you're being loved and you're in love, you don't need like a ton of resistance all the time, and if you're feeling that other people resisting you or not getting on the same page with you, remove your energy from that and look in a brighter direction. Okay, we have, here's the 3 of Cups. we have the Three of Cups twice in your reading, so this is a very important sign for you too about this Three of Cups. And I do think, you know, with the root chakra here, banging it out, having fun, getting some good head, you know, someone going down on you, I definitely think this could happen, pile number 2, okay? And I just don't want, Spirit gave me the word frivolous. I just don't want you having frivolous encounters right now. I think you're in a deep place of discovery and freeing your mind. And I don't really think frivolous encounters or ego games are where it's at right now. In general, I think, you know, there's a sense of sisterhood or brotherhood or spending that time together. There's a sense of, you know, I'm seeing the wreath around her head. You know, when people wear like a wreath around their head, like in the 1970s when they got married and they would wear like a wreath around their head. You know, I feel like this is your ancestors, like particularly your male ancestors, like your grandparents. If you have grandparents that are in spirit, grandpa and grandma, I feel like they're hugging you right now. They're loving you. They have their arms around you. They stand with you. They're feeding your soul right now, pile number 2. This is like very beautiful energy, okay? It's the 10 of Cups. It's the 3 of Cups. It's this really being held and really being uplifted. It's like the true intimacy of life, okay? Wonderful. Oh my God, look at you. Look at you. I am getting the name like Liza or Lisa or L-I-Z-A or Lisa or Liza or Eliza or a name like that, okay? But I feel like, you know, and I'm seeing the number 6 here for those of you that have a birthday that adds up to the number 6, or 6 is a very important number for you for whatever reason. That's another sign here, or your birthday is in June the 6th, okay? This is you, the seeker of chalices, all right? And look at her heart. It's pushed out. It's pushed forward. It's open to receiving this love. And the seeker of chalices, the Page of Water, you know, so open to just going with the flow and moving with the emotions. And we have 2 pages here, right? So 2 princesses. You can call the pages princesses or pages. I like to call them princesses sometimes. Seekers. Seekers of the Holy Grail. Seekers of the Ace of Cups, right? Seeker of the Cup. And I'm also seeing the number 5 here for those of you as well. I'm seeing a caduceus as well above her head for those of you, the 2 snakes kind of entwined. And yeah, I'm also seeing the initials HZ or the name Heather or a name that starts with HE or HEI. I'm also seeing like Levi, that name too, okay? But I feel like you guys are just turning yourselves. It's like this love and this sense of love and connection and intimacy and your heart chakra being renewed is what really fuels your creativity, your passion, your sense of adventure, your sense of release. It's almost like feeling like a kid again. You know, it's very beautiful, pile number 2, okay? And you are on the right track. You're turning away from the things that just don't make sense anymore. King of Swords. Some things just don't make sense anymore. It's like go into pleasure, right? Go into excitement, go into pleasure. It's like being youthful again in a way, no matter what your age. It's that sense of adventure and spark, okay? And active. The pages are very active as well. So that is what I am getting for you, pile number 2. And yeah, also I just have to say, you know, orgasm is a way to move energy through your body, okay? For those of you that work on tantric, or you do some type of tantric type of breathing or seeking or flowing, I mean, I feel that here, okay? And I think that energy, sextile opportunity, actually sextile sex, right? We talked about, actually I talked about that way more in your guys' pile than I did pile number 1. So, you know, which is not, you know, it's not to say anything about, you know, all the piles are beautiful, but, you know, this is what you need right now, but it has to be that loving intimacy, that sense of being held, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 2. I feel like I could spend even more time with you. I loved your reading. I think it was very healing. I hope that felt healing to you. And I hope you received a lot of signs from Spirit so that you know you are on the right path and you are on a beautiful path. So thank you so much, pile number 2. Hope to see you again soon. All right, let's move into pile number 3. Okay. Let's clear the energy space. Thank you so much. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the red tea light, and yes, I'm excited. I felt this energy of excitement before I started your reading, almost like I had to pee. So maybe some of you guys have that sensation. Now it went completely away now that I said it. So sometimes I'm like, is it me? Is it you? Pile number 3? Who is it? Right? But now that when I say it, if it isn't mine, it disappears and I feel back to myself again. So maybe some of you have to pee or you're doing that pee-pee dance, pile number 3. But yeah, that's interesting. So today's reading is called Give Me a Sign, New Love Reading. And it is that kind of excitement. And maybe you guys have met someone very exciting and new, and something very pleasurable has been happening for you here. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at it, okay? So this reading is all about giving you a sign to let you know, are you on the right path, all right? And Spirit is showing me a paved road. Is it going to be a smooth ride? I feel like some of you guys are asking that question. Or is it going to be bumpy, choppy, or a smooth, nice ride? And you can feel that when you're on the road and you accelerate and the windows are down and it's like, you know, it's that beautiful, like Charlie's Angels kind of a feeling, okay? Maybe some of you guys liked that movie, or you resonate with it, or you resonate with the name Charlie or Angel, but we're just gonna keep getting the signs over and over again. I definitely feel like rings. Maybe somebody is putting on rings right now or deciding what rings you wanna wear for today, or you have a very special ring that you got recently, or somebody complimented you on your rings or your hands, because I am feeling that ring energy, like multiple rings as well. So beautiful energy, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. I am getting the S names like Shauna or Chantel. I think Chantel is with a C, or it could be an S too. And we'll see what else. It's so funny. Like, I feel like I wanted to give this name in pile number 2, but like Liza Minnelli. Okay, maybe some of you have the name Liza or the name Minnelli, but Liza Minnelli. Okay, maybe some of you are coming with me from pile number 2 and now you're getting that message. But all right, thank you, Spirit, right? Let's get into the reading finally and get you some signs regarding new love. We have 10 of Wands. You've been working so hard. We have the Queen of Swords, good for you. We have the Hermit, finally coming out of that Hermit phase. And we have the Page of Wands. I'm ready to love. I'm ready to love. All right, pile number 3. I'm ready for that good love, okay? And yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys, there could be a Virgo or a Libra here in this pile, or a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and a Virgo, with fire signs as well, flanking on the end here with the Page and the 10 of Wands. But, you know, the Page comes after the 10 of Wands, and it's like you've been working, I feel like you guys have been working really hard. Some of you guys may have been working hard on your bodies or at your job, or you've just been working hard when you're going out with people to really filter the bullshit, okay? And you've really been trying to make better decisions. You've been trying to make sure that your energy investment in things is appropriate, and you've been working really hard on, you know, filtering people when you go on dates with them. Like, am I making this up in my head? Is there actually a good opportunity here? Or is this, you know, is this BS, right? So I feel like you guys, you know, you have, because you do put a lot into your relationships, because you are, you know, a person that gets very dedicated when someone gets through your filter. I feel like you have to have that strong filter, pile number 3, okay? It's almost like protecting your energy investment, which I talked about in a few of the other piles too, about energy investment, but I feel it here too. And I feel some of you guys want to see that effort. You want to see that energy investment from others too. You want to see honesty, you want to see maturity, and you want to see people that know their own minds, and people that are very like logical, and that know themselves, okay? And I think that that's good, pile number 3. I think it is. I think you've got a good, strong filter going on when you're going out and meeting people and going on dates. And, you know, it may feel like dating is a little bit of hard work right now, you know, and I talked about that image of the smooth road versus the bumpy road. And, you know, the bumpy road is more of the 10 of Wands. It's like, I don't know where I'm going yet, and I can't really see too far ahead, but I'm trying to make some decisions here and understand what's being fed to me in a way, okay? And, you know, your mind is strong and you're seeing things for what they are, the Hermit, okay? And I do feel like there's been a lot of inner work happening for you right now too. There's been a lot of, my dog has got the little barkies. You got the little barkies, puppy? So she's got her little barkies going on right now, but that's so cute. Maybe some of you guys have dogs too. That's another sign, or you love your pet. Because Virgo, that's pet, you know, kind of loving your pet energy. It's cute. But anyway, pile number 3. So yeah, I think, you know, you have a good, strong filter. You can call bullshit when you see it. You know, even the most sophisticated of bullshitters would have a hard time, you know, getting at you. But I feel like you want to see the effort. You want to see the dedication. You want to see somebody backing up what they say, okay? Like, people can say things, they can say whatever, but you want to see someone whose actions also back up what they're saying, all right? And it's almost like whoever you're with has to get through this filter before they can see the more like fun, lighthearted, sexy, kind of energized, yeah, like cutesy energy, pile number 3. You know, this Page of Wands, it's this energy of examining. I feel there's a lot of examining going on right now in your life. Like, and I feel like I said, dating may feel kind of like hard work right now, and that you're examining people and trying to really clearly see them for what they are and not let the stars kind of get in your eyes, you know? Stars in your eyes, right? Stars in your eyes, beauty in your heart, pile number 3, so beautiful. But, you know, and you do, I feel some of you in pile number 3, well, I feel all of you, if you're here, you're here, you know, and I feel you have beautiful eyes, or you have eyes that sparkle. And, you know, I feel like some of this dating energy has caused you to be real, like demanding of yourself in a way. Like, you better like not, and some of you may have been coming from situations or relationships, you know, that were challenging or difficult, and you're like, no, I'm not getting into that again. I'm gonna be real judicious about the way I look at things, you know, and if I don't like something, it's gotta go, all right? And you know, and I feel like so this is the general energy, and I feel you're when you actually see into someone and you can see what's beneath it, and the image of what they're presenting matches the internal, I feel like that's when Page of Wands, that's when you get excited. That's when you start going, oh yeah, this could be something, or you start feeling sexual, or there's the passion that's getting ignited. Although the Hermit can be very sexual. A lot of people say, oh, the Hermit's alone, they're not with anyone, but the Hermit's actually very sexual, I think, you know. And one of my mentors in the tarot also talks about that too, about how the Hermit can be very sexual, you know. It's like, but they're looking for that exact thing to spend their time, effort, and energy on, okay? And then after that, it starts to get exciting. It starts to get hot, okay? And I do think there can be some mental hotness going on for some of you guys that have met someone recently and you feel like dating has been a lot of work and hard effort for you. I do feel like you guys could be meeting someone who's very different or odd, or an odd find. I don't mean like an odd human being, but an odd find, like fancy meeting you here type of a thing. And Spirit just gave me Juliette Lewis. Juliette Lewis, for those of you that know who Juliette Lewis is, she actually has a band called Juliette Lewis and the Licks. And have you guys ever seen Natural Born Killers, the movie? There's a song by L7 called You Made My Shit List, and it's like her, I think it's Woody Harrelson who's with, I think that's his name, who's in the movie with her. And those two are like Bonnie and Clyde in a way. They go into a diner and some guy tries to grab her ass and, you know, she just basically like, you know, takes out the whole restaurant. So I don't know, pile number 3, why am I getting that? But it's that sexy energy. Watch the video. Yeah, L7 shit list set to the background of Natural Born Killers, Juliette Lewis, okay? Maybe Juliette or Lewis is a name here for you too. Let's get into it even more. We have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, definitely with the Hermit and the Queen of Swords, focusing on the details and the small things that are said, and, you know, and being like, okay, I didn't like that, you're out, or whatever. And the Ten of Wands, maybe, you know, it's like we've really been putting in all the effort, but if you look at it, he's kind of looking down, you know, and he's kind of like, this feels like a lot of hard work, or this is a lot of effort. And maybe someone you're with right now feels like it's a lot of effort or hard work to get to know you, pile number 3, okay? And maybe some people you date wish it was a little easier to get in your pants or get to know you, pile number 3. But anyway, I think, you know, with this look at the big picture, full moon in Sagittarius, I think, you know, Sagittarius may be a resonant energy here too. The Ten of Wands is a Sagittarius card, but there's this sense of like, okay, like everything's on the up and up with the arrow facing up here, and checking, is everything on the up and up? Does everything feel good? And that's wonderful. And I think Spirit is saying, focus on that on a bigger scale instead of the tiny little things, maybe, pile number 3, and think about like, you know, is everything seem on the up and up, right? And maybe that's going to help it feel like it's less work and less trying, okay? And people may feel like they age a couple years after they meet you, pile number 3, because you're like, I ain't gonna put up with that, you know, but that's okay, right? Like, you do your thing, you do you, boo, pile number 3. But, you know, Spirit is saying, focus on the bigger picture. Does it seem on the up and up, okay? We have Scorpion and Caution, okay? So it's interesting because I've been having dreams of scorpions a lot lately. We could have Sagittarius and Scorpio. We have Libra and Virgo energy here too. But, you know, caution, all right? So I think that's why you guys focus on everything to detail, because you're like, if I take my eye off of things, you know, that's how people in the past got through my filter. And I don't want to just be looking at the bigger picture, because then I could miss a sign. I could miss a red flag, right? Which the Scorpion feels like a red flag to me. Okay. And, you know, I feel like some of you guys may have met someone that also has the same kind of filter on you right now, that's looking at you like, is it a red flag that, you know, that you require XYZ 1, 2, 3, which, you know, maybe they would like you to look at the bigger picture, or maybe you would like them to look at the bigger picture, right? Take it as it resonates. But I feel like it's them looking at you, honestly, pile number 3, like, you know, you're being the exacting one. But I think you do that because you're like, hey, I don't want to get caught in anybody's fucking pinchers, and I don't want to go through the stinger ever again. Maybe some of you guys have been stung by some Scorpios in your life, or some Scorpionic energy, where things come back to bite you because you missed details, all right? Or you had too much optimism, or you were like young in spirit or mind about love, okay? So I think you guys are wanting to move out of that. We have the Hawk. You know, it's so interesting. I told pile number 2, I was sitting on my porch yesterday, in fact, and a beautiful hawk flew literally so low and right past me. Its wingspan was amazing. It was like looking at me right in the eyes, okay? And I'm drawn to unicorn, this unicorn candle that I have burning in the middle here. So a hawk, unicorn, the scorpion. I've had scorpion dreams for the last couple days. I've had dreams about baby scorpions. And I learned so much about scorpions in the meantime, as I was researching it. But these are very scorpionic symbols, like the hawk and the scorpion, okay? And, you know, you guys are like a hawk, you know, it's a hawk. And to be a hawk on something is to like not let up. I'm going to be a hawk. I'm not going to miss anything this time. I'm going to really search far and wide, okay? So that energy is operating here. We have Capricorn. Are you guys approaching your dating life like job interview? I feel like the people you meet up with are like this Page of Wands, like they're just expecting to have a nice meal or a nice drink or a nice walk or whatever. And you're like, we're gonna need to get this fucking shit worked out here. Let's sit down and go over it, right? Or maybe you're meeting people like that, but treating dating life like it's a business with lessons learned and timetables and scheduling, you know? And maybe it has been hard to fit dating into your life because I see some of you being very busy, and maybe you've been very busy with your job or your work. So there's been little time to dilly-dally or act a fool, okay, is what I feel. And there's just a little bit of a issue, I feel, pile number 3, with looking at things in too much of a regimented or sanitized kind of way. But maybe you have to be that right now. You can't afford to be, you know, whatever, like gregarious or whatever, because you need to be very focused on your work. I feel some of you guys are in a very, you may be in exams, you may be at a time where you're learning some very difficult concepts, or you're in school for something very challenging, or you need to have a clear head for that, okay? And I feel you're very impressive, pile number 3, okay? You're very impressive. And for some of you that have met a Capricorn, a Scorpio, a Sag, like, you know, they're impressed with you too. I think they would just like you to have a little more fun, maybe, with the Page of Wands, not take things so seriously. Or maybe there's a sense, but I also feel like, you know, if you have to be, you have to be, pile number 3. So, you know, do what feels right to you. We have Mercury and communication. So with this person, I'm seeing bees attracted to the honey here too. Sweet communication, all right? So if there's a lot of Queen of Swords energy with the Hermit, there's facing off, or there's debating, or, you know, that could really tire out this other person, I feel, pile number 3, that you met. I think either you or them, but I'm thinking them, is kind of, you know, you're smart and you've got a lot of ideas and you're very, you know, learning and information and analysis and all of that. But there, with the bees and the honey here, there needs to be some sweet energy, okay? And if you feel like your tongue has been kind of sharp lately, you can always drop a little bit of honey on your tongue, and that's a way to kind of sweeten your words, okay? I feel that is coming up here. We have the 9 of Swords. Boy, you sure can make a person wonder. I feel, pile number 3. Wonder what you're thinking. Wonder what's going on. What's going on in that head of yours, pile number 3. All right. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. We have the 6 of Wands. Someone's been a bad girl and needs a spanking, I feel like, okay? Yeah, so I do feel like someone likes your shoes or your feet or your pointy shoes. You know, there's the rabbit and the dove here. And so someone's a little nervous, and it's kind of like one person's a rabbit and one person's a dove. One person's like, I don't know about this, and the rabbit's like, let's go for it, you know? So, but the 6 of Wands, very passionate, very sexy, very spicy kind of a card. And the ass is definitely popping, all right? And I think physically there's a passion. There's passion with this person that you've been seeing or talking to or getting to know. There is passion. But when it comes to communication, or, you know, like the way you're presenting yourself from a communication perspective, pile number 3, you may worry this person a little. 9 of Swords, okay? But I think, you know, there's some ass to grab onto, which is always a good thing, you know? We have, ooh, I knew this card. We have appetite or nutrition, okay? The color of appetite combines blue for wisdom and green for health and healing. It reminds you to connect with nature for your nutritional needs, whether by growing your own produce. And, you know, the whole thing I said about putting honey on the tongue, I kind of was feeling weird about it because I thought, oh, some of you guys here might be vegans, okay, or trying to go vegan, and vegans can't have honey. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it did cross my mind. Whether you by growing your own produce or buying organic food or eating a plant-based diet, appetite with its calcium and fluoride content may be beneficial for gums and teeth, okay? My body is a temple, right? The Hermit, the Queen of Swords. My body is a temple. I have the insight to make wise choices, the Queen of Swords, with my habits, eating habits or otherwise. I choose food that nourishes my body and soul, okay? So maybe something about food here. Maybe some of you guys are changing your diet and you're getting a lot more clear-headed and you're looking at the body and you're looking, and it's gonna make you feel a lot lighter. It's gonna make you feel a lot more passionate, not as heavy. All right, so talking about that energy too, but I also think, you know, the wisdom of what you consume, right? Whether it's media, Mercury, whether it's at work, whether you're just consuming ideas and thoughts there, right? And with the Nine of Swords, sometimes the mental body getting a little nervous, okay? And worried about some red flags and, you know, but I'm also just feel like with the hawk in the bigger picture, don't let it distract you. If you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself and you're moderating your appetites and you're not going too crazy, like enjoy yourself, pile number 3, okay? We have the Two of Cups, right? So even Superman or Superwoman needs to take a break to enjoy the sweetness, all right? To enjoy it. And I feel like, you know, this person is telling you, like, just be in the present moment. You may have a very active mind, but I feel like this person is wanting to get more into the feeling realm with you. And it's like, let's just be in the present moment. Don't worry about the next day or what's coming up or what is, you know, haunting us in the background of things here. There may be things coming up that feel nervously, like nervous inducing energy, but especially around work or things that you're doing here. I feel like this person is saying, you know, let me comfort you, let me hold you, and let's just kind of be in the present moment. That's beautiful energy. I like that. We have the Lovers. Okay, so here's you guys. I feel here. This blonde or this brunette over here, either one. But, you know, this is from my deck, Soul Messages, and it says uncomfortable decisions, you know, so the Queen of Swords and the Hermit, right? And, you know, making some uncomfortable decisions. Maybe some of you guys have been dating multiple people. Or, you know, when you're dating, oftentimes people are quote unquote dating, you know, the person you're with or the person you're with is kind of dating multiple people. There may be a decision here that's coming up, okay? And about, you know, who someone wants to be with and if someone's really their type, okay? I feel like there could be something coming up about that. And it's like, it's sometimes having that uncomfortable talk as well. Like when you're dating someone, eventually you kind of have to have that talk, you know, like, well, where are we going? Are we with each other? Are we going to go back into the pool? Are we dating other people? Right? I think there is some need for clarity around this. If you haven't had this talk, I mean, I feel eventually it's inevitable. It kind of comes up. Pile number 3. Woo, look at you. Baby, I'm fabulous. Queen of Wands. Overcoming shyness and bold moves. Okay? So yeah, and having fun and being sexy and fire energy, okay? And yeah, that is resonating with your red tea lights. So very gorgeous, very sexy. Again, with the hair. I mentioned something about the hair in pile number 2, but the hair on fleek, okay? Necklaces, jewelry, a black top, big, bold, beautiful hair. I love it, okay? Yeah. The bigger the hair, the better, pile number 3, in my opinion. So go for it. It says, baby, I'm fabulous, right? There's no choice when it comes to you, pile number 3. You are fabulous. Remember that, okay? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So some challenging choices, all right? Do I want this? Do I want that? Also nutrition, again with the Queen of Pentacles. Grains, food, what am I putting in my body? Is this energizing me or is it just making me more nervous, okay? And I feel a lot of you guys do have a lot of work stuff on your mind right now, whether it's projects or things that need to be completed or things that need your energy or projects that need to be managed. I mean, I feel that is a big thing for you right now. We have the Six of Wands, which actually came up twice, okay? Whatever it is that you're going through even outside of love, I feel pile number 3, whether you're just trying to really focus and decide what you want to put your energy into and what needs your attention right now, you are going to be very successful. Some of you guys may be looking at promotions, or you may be looking at having your work really recognized publicly, okay? So keep working, pile number 3. For those of you that are, in that phase right now, it is gonna pay dividends. It is gonna pay off for you. And I do think you're gonna feel better too, like physically. If you've been working really hard and your nutrition's been off, or you've been backed up or constipated, pile number 3, I think this energy is gonna move, okay? I think this is gonna move for you. And you're gonna have time to get back to your sexy self, okay? If you're wondering, like, God damn, like this work is aging me, or I don't feel pretty, I mean, I think I'm laughing because Spirit gives me the funniest things, but Queen of Wands, it's like, yeah, no, you are beautiful, you are noticed, you are seen, you are on that stage, okay, pile number 3, so that you know that your hard work and effort is gonna bring you acclaim, okay? Ooh, we have the King of Wands. That's what I'm trying to see. That's what I'm trying to see, all right? Is the King of Wands. And maybe some of you guys are waiting for that King of Wands to your Queen, okay? And the King of Wands can be a Sagittarius, and we had this look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Master of the Flame. Master of the Flame. So I do think you're going to meet someone who ignites you, who makes you feel beautiful. And you could meet like an entrepreneur, or somebody who's taken a similar journey and has some wisdom to share, or somebody who's reached a level of authority and leadership in their own life too, which would be really nice. You could have something in common because you seem very very activated that way, pile number 3, okay? And we have the Adept of Orbs. So this is the Knight of Swords. A lot of court cards all over your reading, okay? And I feel like this is you guys saying, and I am getting like blonde hair in this reading for those, that could be another sign for those of you that recently dyed it, or are thinking about it, or putting some different color in your hair. I'm getting that too. But I feel like this is you guys saying, what do I want? Like, do I want somebody who is more like, do I want somebody who's really confident, but spends a lot of time alone and maybe isn't as reaching out as much, or is a little more to themselves, or is very busy like you, pile number 3? Or do I want someone who, like this knight on the white horse, right? This Knight of Swords, okay? So the Knight of Swords can be an Aquarius, the Master of Flames can be a Sagittarius, or fire and air. But you're dealing with a lot with the Queen of Pentacles. You're dealing with a lot. You got a lot on your plate, and I want to see that lesson in a way for you, pile number 3, or just get what you finally deserve, which is awards and accomplishment and being recognized for your value, okay? Whether it's with a guy or a girl or your job, whatever it is. And I definitely feel like there can be 2 lovers, okay, coming up for you, 2 people that you're dating, or 2 lovers. And one could be a little bit younger, one's older, one's more mature, but maybe a bit more reserved. And I feel like the other one, the younger one, might be a little more flighty, but they communicate a lot, or you may hear a lot from them. And you like that. It's like if you could take both of them and put them into one person, if you could take that and mix it into one person, right? And, it's not like you don't have options, pile number 3, okay? You do. And this is all about giving you a sign that you're on the right path, okay? And you might be looking at things going, well, look at what I have here. It's okay, but it's not really what I wanted. I'd really like to make them all into one person, and then I would be like super happy, all right? But I also feel for those of you in pile number 3 where you're really focusing on your nutrition, your health, your projects, your work, you want to get something through the finish line here over the next couple of months through Sagittarius season, then, you know, keep pushing on that. Keep pushing on that, because you are in a time where it makes sense to do that, all right? And you may need to parcel out your time right now if you're dating, and there may be multiple options, and that may be okay for where you're at right now. Spirit is just saying, making sure that you're taking care of your nutrition and your health, and you're not neglecting any important areas of your life, okay? So, especially if you've been very busy. But I think this, you know, a lot of people would be like, yay, options, you know, like super excited about that, or at least feel like they're getting a lot of attention, Six of Wands. But I kind of feel like you guys are like, yeah, that's cool, but I kind of just want to focus on one thing, Queen of Pentacles, okay? So let's actually, before I let you go, pile number 3, let's see, as far as focusing on one thing, let's go ahead and take a look and see. Spirit, angels, and guides for my pile number 3. As far as focusing on one thing, what can you tell pile number 3, please? What can you tell pile number 3? We have the Page of Cups. Okay, so somebody, I'm feeling this Two of Cups, okay? I'm feeling this Two of Cups. Are you looking in the right place? Are you looking at the right people? I feel like somebody maybe a little bit softer, a little bit romantic, somebody that can give you a massage, that holds you, that's a cuddler, somebody that's maybe an artist, I feel here too, or somebody that's very creative, all right? And I almost feel like for some of you guys, you might be kind of looking in the wrong place, okay? Let's see what else, as far as just one person here for pile number 3. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. It's gonna happen when you least expect it. Keep your head down, do your work, do a good job, keep focusing on what's in front of you. There's a lot of details that need to be taken care of. That Hermit Virgo energy is very important for you right now as you're crossing this threshold, apprenticing, becoming this person. And I think, you know, once this phase is kind of through your life, I think, you know, there's going to be a beautiful opportunity to connect with someone very different, very like soft, okay? Not indifferent. You know, I'm not, yeah, it's almost the word indifferent popped into my head, and I feel like you guys are like, yeah, that's indifference, you know, and I'm like, no, it's not. There's a difference between like the soft, vulnerable, like, you know, and being indifferent, right? And I think that's something that maybe you've had to be a little bit indifferent right now to your softer, more vulnerable side because of what you've been going through. But, you know, love happens at the moment when you least expect it. Eight of Wands, it comes rushing in, okay? And for right now, you do need to stay focused on something you're growing and nurturing in your life, I feel. So thank you so much, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. That was very in-depth, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. And take care, my lovelies.